Okay, what do you see in front of me right here? This is Washington's second line of defense. From the retreat from Birmingham Meeting House, they retreated to this point. About a half a mile that way, the British Army, the British Grenadiers, as we talked about before, are now in those woods in the distance. They're not being contested. They got lost. The woods were so heavy at the time, so overgrown, that when the left of the the right of the British line got into those woods, they became lost. Right here is the center of the British line. This is where most of the fighting took place on Birmingham Hill. It's a National Historic Landmark here. This is a protected battlefield. This is where Washington's line was. From here, it stretched out into the distance, probably about 3/4 of it, maybe about a half a mile in the distance. From this position, his cannons were positioned right where I'm standing. He still had his field pieces. They weren't taken. When the Birmingham Meeting House was taken, he retreated to this point. He was lucky to get those cannons over this way. Now remember, back then, we walk, we drive vehicles. They had to hook things up. They had ox, they had horse, they had different animals that they had with them. It took time to do this. They were in enough time to get their cannons to this point. Now the British were over on the ridge in the last video. Now they came across this hill right here. They charged the hill. They charged this line that Washington had his second line here. Everybody that retreated or was still alive from the Birmingham Meeting House came to this point. They assembled in formation and they advanced on this hill. The British advanced on this hill 5 times, and 5 times they were pushed back. Now that's incredible when you think about it, that they did not retreat. It was hand-to-hand combat. It was bayonet-to-bayonet contact in this field that you see right here. The dead in this field numbered probably at least 100, maybe more people dead on either side in this field right here. So basically, I'm going to pan the camera. I'm going to show you where the rest of Washington's line was on the other side. What we see now here is a farm. This didn't exist. These are probably 19th century houses. But right across the road here, Washington's line extended for about another 400 yards that way. That was so that the flanking maneuver that we talked about up at Birmingham Meeting House was met by another line of Washington's army over at this position right here.